You're muted, Mr. Quinlan.
Yeah, we can't hear you. You're
We
muted.
can't hear you.
Wow.
Oh,
Let's try that again. I've been muted.
I was
yeah.
confused. Yeah, I was confused. What's going on?
Yeah, he's talking, but there's not. Hey, that's the way you kind of like it, right, Jordan? Yeah, nothing coming out. But I'm sorry. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. March 12th, 2019. I wanted to share that video open right off the bat here. There's some key values into this. Who would have thought 1936? That's way before Mr. Quinlan was born, maybe a couple of years. But it lasts the test of time about building trusting relationships. Interpersonal relationships are the key to any success in the individual. I'm not talking about jobs. I'm not talking about school. I'm just talking about just having a good sense of belonging. All of us seek. Not a single one of you here alive here today do not desire to connect with other people. But we do have conflicts, and we sometimes don't understand those conflicts. We don't understand where people are coming from. But I thought, what a great way to start off our webinar today about how to build. I think one takeaway that you have from this video clip, one takeaway. That's how I want to kick off today's webinar. I do have some other things I want to share with you today, but a lot of it has to do with interpersonal relationships and a takeaway from that video. So I'm not going to go first. Jordan's going to go first. Maddie second. Natalie, good to see you this morning. David. We got D down in B in Baldwin. That's Dakota. So take us away, Jordan. Give me one takeaway. We'll start with you first.
A takeaway from
the video clip you just saw as you logged on.
Oh, I couldn't. I didn't. I joined like a part as it was playing, and I couldn't hear it, so I didn't really understand it.
All right, that's okay. That's all right. But look at the title: How to build trust in relationships. Maybe just that question. What do you think?
Be respectful.
Be respectful. Thank you. That's a huge takeaway.
And honest.
Respectful. Go ahead.
Be respectful and honest.
Honest and respectful. It all starts with yourself, too. Thanks for sharing. Good to see you this morning, Jordan, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Maddie, welcome to the big show. Good to have you in the house. What was the takeaway for you, Maddie? You always give us the profound.
You're in an argument with somebody, ask a question.
Okay, Maddie, thanks for weighing in. It's like so many of us, all of us here present. Come on, I'm going to admit myself. I've got conflicting conversations with people. Happens almost daily, not so much in school, but people who have different points of view. How to diffuse a situation is the most challenging part you're going to have, a component. And asking a question, turning the table around, asking what they want. That's not manipulating someone. That's just really trying to listen and understand a perspective. Thanks, Maddie. Natalie, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, girl. Good to see you here live on our webinar. What takeaway did you have on this short little video?
It's not working. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, loud and clear.
Okay. How to build trust and relationships is to respect everyone's choices and opinions.
It's hard to respect someone when you don't agree with them, isn't it, Natalie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a challenge. I'm not saying it's easy and rainbows and sunshine. I may not really truly value what another person thinks, even the adults I encounter or students, but yet, how important it is to at least be quiet and still and listen, like Maddie said too. So, yeah. Thank you, Natalie, Maddie, and Jordan for weighing in. David, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you here this morning, my friend. Tell us, David, what was a huge takeaway for you?
Just be respectful and care about others and be interested in their lives and see what they're doing. Wow,
that kind of summarizes everything we've heard so far, and then show interest in their lives too. To be a good friend, to be someone, and someone may say, well, why do I have to do this? The world really revolves around me. We all know that's not true. But as you grow, that attitude you just portrayed, David, is, I'm telling you, these are lasting values that have lasted time. And, when you heard the video clip refer to a man by Dale Carnegie in 1936, these are issues that not only businesses or schools that really are successful do really hone in their success on. So thank you, David, for weighing in on that. Hey, D, Dakota, good to see you live from Baldwin on the east side. I'm sure it's a little chilly this morning over there, but Dakota, what do you got? What's a takeaway from you that you saw from this video?
I don't know.
Anything from the title that may have stood out to you?
Trust.
Trust. Thank you, and how you build trust. Appreciate your insight of that, Dakota. Because really, folks, one of the things I want to share in today's webinar here, the purpose of what I'm trying to share is the importance of us, not only as human beings, but as individuals, as learners, as growers of whatever it is in our life, is just really to start looking. My brother, as a Marine for 30 years, talked about how it's important to turn the map around and just look at life with a different perspective. Or if you're training, or if you're playing a sport, you do a scouting report, you want to see what the other team's doing, and you just look at the game or look at life through their perspective and how you're competitive. Wow, that sun is bright here. Can you see it's not so much me being bright. Don't get excited. But get that sun peering. I'm not complaining. Sun in the wintertime has been awesome. So anyway, I thought it was a great way to start. It's a good reminder for me. I have buddies in my life right now who keep me sharp, keep me accountable. Just this morning, I get many of you ever use WhatsApp? I communicate with some people around the world, Beirut, Lebanon. She was one of our guest speakers earlier on, sent me this cool video on building self. So it's really kind of cool to get people who shoot you stuff in the morning or start your day in a real positive way. So it's a challenge to you. I know sometimes we wake up and we're allowing that life cycle to kind of control our life, and then we find ourselves in a defensive mode all day, and that's not a good day. So it's really has a lot to do with how you build your day today. I had no idea when I came into school today how other employees or coworkers or students are going to act. I can only respond to how they act in a positive manner. That really is one of the tools that I use. And that video is strong to me because that's how I build trust in relationships. And I fail. But I keep trying. I want all of you to do something for me if you would, please. We've got about 5 minutes left in our webinar. I want a quick reminder. I left on for your sake. We really are getting some huge response to our Facebook and our Instagram. So if you want to follow what's going on every day, we post on Facebook. We've got some cool, our team, Wolfpack, is going down to Muskegon and competing in the robotics competition, the first high school one of the year. Middle school already had their season. So real excited about that. So look forward to how your friends, classmates are probably doing to that. So I'd like everybody to open up today's document if you would. I'll give you a moment to click on that doc and open it up if you would. Just like some feedback from you. I also want to, while we're opening this up, and I see that Dakota, thank you, he's got it open up. Also want to just, let's make sure you're connecting with me. I know David and Jordan have a consistent schedule on connecting classes with me. Appreciate that. Natalie, make sure we connect at the end of the webinar about kind of scheduling. And Dakota, let's chat also at the end of this official webinar a little bit. And David, we'll kind of work out a schedule today. Okay, guys?
Okay.
All right, sounds good. So thank you for typing in your name in the box, if you would, right now. I've got Maddie, thank you. Jordan, David, take a box, if you would. Dakota, just choose anyone you want. Just go ahead and type your name in. And I'm gonna do one on the spot right now here. I put my name here and I'll explain what I'm going to be doing here on the spot. Now, I want you to pick a person right now, and I want you to think about it. And if you don't want to use their name, you could just say person number one. But other than your family member, other than somebody who's very close to you, that you really want to focus on building a stronger relationship with. So what person today, and if you just want to say maybe the first name or initial, that's fine, because this is purely between you. It's a reflection for you. That you really want to work hard today at building a better relationship. It doesn't mean you're bad or it's bad, but you really want to focus on today. So type in that person A or initial. I'm going to do one right now. I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to put Mr. Dennis on there. So just have that person in mind. Maybe just put person 1 or their initial that you're thinking about. All right. So in this little exercise, after watching that video clip, I want you to now think about, I chose my example up here, was Mr. Larry Hunt. Mr. Larry Hunt, I'm going to click on there. I want to show you something, if I could, as you're thinking of that person. I wanted to really develop something about Larry Hunt. I want to show you what I did this weekend.
You know what I'm doing? Here's what I'm doing. These are the plays for me. I have to follow the plan. I love being down by 3 touchdowns with 10 minutes left. That's okay. Because you have to have belief, you have to hope, you have to have love. You don't give up until that final second.
This is episode 1 of Rag Picker Podcast. A rag picker is a term for someone throughout third world countries who make a living by rummaging through refuge in the streets to collect materials for salvage. The recycling of these materials are used to create value for resale. A rag picker of people is an individual who is an influencer, connector, and leader. Their shared experiences and leadership principles give hope of a better tomorrow, direction and blueprint for a future, and a greater value to themselves and those they encounter. Rag pickers are servant leaders. And now for today's rag picker. Larry Hunt, one of Des Moines, Iowa's most successful entrepreneur, has worked in a...
So my purpose wasn't to show you or listen to this entire podcast, but I launched another podcast over the weekend. I belong to an organization called Rag Pickers. And if you're interested in that, I'll be happy to share with you later. But I wanted to focus on Larry this weekend. And Larry was someone that I wanted to start thinking about, that I want to learn more about, to be more empathetic. So I'm going to be open and honest with you, and I want you to be open and honest with this one person. So with Larry being said, I did a podcast, pushed it out there, and gotten some positive results. And I want the world to know who Larry Hunt is. So he was my focus this weekend. And so 2 things, the lessons that I learned about Larry is I really wanted to ask questions about Larry. Well, obviously, how do you ask questions about a person? By doing a podcast. So yes, I asked about 8 questions with Larry, and we created a podcast. And that episode, I'm going to post on our Canvas piece tomorrow if you want to listen to it and know a little bit about him. But one of the things that lessons I learned by listening to Larry is that how he turned a business in where he didn't have a nickel of his name. He was arrested 9 times. And it was on the back of a police car at his 9th arrest that he changed his world. And if you want to know how he did it, just listen to that podcast. I'm going to put it up there. And really how Larry started to really, truly grow as a person. So my lessons learned when I listened to Larry, his emphatic, I don't want emphatic, it's probably not the best word, but his overwhelming focus on respecting other people and looking and truly into the soul of a person that he hires for his business. Larry has a multi-million-dollar business now in Des Moines, Iowa. He's a successful entrepreneur, but he's a hard worker. And he does it through respect. So my lessons learned from Larry is he taught me, Larry, when you meet him, he asks questions of you. He doesn't talk about who he is and how successful he is. He talks about you. He turns the map around and he'll say, what's your story, Q? Or what's your story? I've seen him in action and it's genuine and honest. So he has a true respect for other people's perspective. Larry Hunt is the person that I wanted to use as an example today. And so what did I learn from Larry Hunt about being respectful? Is that Larry taught me under tomorrow and today that I want to go forward. Larry really gets me to think deeper on how to address individuals by their name. He uses their name. It's real evident. And when he tells me stories, if he knows a person's name, he mentions it. And what I learned from Larry is always ask a person, a new person I meet this week, I'm going to try to ask one question about him. It's not like, hi, Dakota, how you doing? My name is Mr. Quinlan, and here's what I do. No, hey, Dakota, what makes you tick in the morning? That's one lesson I want to learn. So what I'd like you to do for a moment, and I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to play a little bit of Larry's podcast so you can learn about it. But I want you to spend some time this morning. We're going to share. Mine is Mr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis right now has got some physical ailments. He's really, I know he's hurting a little bit right now and physically. But he is one amazing person. And so my focus is going to be what have I known about it. So I'm going to try to type and work on this too with you. I want you to come up with what 2 lessons have you learned from this person that you put in the box? What 2 things have you learned about them already? And then what in the second box about tomorrow, today, what has that person taught you about how you go about your day tomorrow or today? For example, Mr. Dennis, he teaches me how to be more of a centered person, and I'll talk more about that later. But I want you to fill those 2 boxes. What has that person taught you? What lessons have they taught you? And what are you going to do tomorrow? Go ahead. I'll give you let's look at the clock here, about 3 minutes. And in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to play the pod.
Farming business for close to 30 years. As CEO and owner of Roto-Rooter franchise today, he'll be the first one to tell you that the road to success was always under construction. His amazing story of perseverance, grit, and a belief in the true spirit of the human condition has deemed Larry Hunt a true servant of people. Rag Picker Podcast is proud to share his story. Larry Hunt, Des Moines, Iowa, or actually, is it Clive, Iowa? What's the town?
I live in Clive, Iowa. Yeah, but it's just a little suburb of Des Moines, just right on the edge.
All right, Larry, give our listeners a backstory. Who is Larry Hunt?
Oh, wow.
I know. Give us like 5 bullets of who you are in your journey. Go.
In my journey now, who I am.
Yeah.
Father?
You're a rag picker, my friend, so tell us what gets you to this point. What has gotten you here?
What has gotten me here? I'll tell you what's gotten me here is tough lessons I've learned through life. You know, as we all go through life and make mistakes.
One more minute.
And make choices that we do. I have made a lot of bad choices. And up until the age of 28, I kept making them. Then one day I finally decided, after my 9th time of being in jail and doing the wrong thing, I figured at some point in your life, you know what? You're going to end up this way and continue this way, you're going to have to make a choice. So it's all about choices. No matter what life is, it's about choices. No matter if it's working where you work at, you know, and your marriage and how good of a father you want to be.
Wrap up,
it's all about
if you would,
choices.
please. So Larry continues to talk about choices. I really encourage you, I'll post this if you want to listen to it, really how he builds trust and relationships with. Go ahead, finish up if you would. Some things you're going to be taking away. Dakota, give us maybe a couple things that this person you're thinking about has really taught you. Who wants to weigh in? I'd like a volunteer to just like our classroom, our virtual classroom. Who'd like to weigh in on you don't have to tell a person's name, but what this person has taught you. Anybody? Unmute your mic and share out. If we were in a physical classroom, I'd have you turn to your partner and have a conversation, but it's kind of hard when we're virtually. So, David, what do you got? You don't have to tell who you got, but what did this person teach you?
To work hard and care about others and like respect the elderly.
So this person somewhere, and it's not a family member, right?
No.
Oh, good for you. So this person has taught you, has been like a mentor in your life. So what David would write in the column to the right would be, in essence, I'd ask David to, what are some takeaways you would take from this person's influence on you? So David, just tell us one thing. What would you take away that you're really trying to focus on as a person?
Just to care about others and respect them.
Yeah, so go ahead and type in to care of others and respect them. That person taught you a lesson that you want to try to focus on. Even the challenging part, David, is going to, even when it's difficult for you. That's not an easy part to do. That's not an easy component, excuse me. I would like to hear from one more. Thank you, Dakota, for jotting down, and Jordan and David. Awesome. Natalie, some thoughts. What is right or wrong? That's awesome. Hey, Jordan, what do you got? Don't have to tell us person A, but can you weigh in and tell us about this person? We got about a minute and a half left of our webinar today. Jordan, go ahead.
She has taught me to be more respectful and work harder.
And so some of your takeaways that you're working on, even when it's difficult, are?
What was that?
What are your takeaways? What are the things you're going to focus on today or tomorrow, you as a person, Jordan?
To be polite towards people.
And that's all, and you know it, Jordan, more than I do sometimes, or maybe just about, it doesn't matter how much you know, but it's hard to be polite to someone who's not polite back to you, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. And I know respect is earned. You don't earn it that title. You earn it through your deeds and your actions.
Yeah.
And, but at the same time, how to be polite when it's not easy to do. That's called grace.
Mm-hmm.
That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jordan, for weighing in. Appreciate that. Anybody else want to weigh in? Got about 40 seconds left of our share out here today on the webinar. Well, you know, and I want to conclude with this final thought. Thank you all for reflecting on this. And this document's going to stay a living, breathing document that I'm going to keep up on here. Why is it important for us to attend these webinars? Why is it important to stay connected? Why is it important for us to get up early like this and be a part of this? Anybody want to give some feedback? You know, you can hear Mr. Q talk till the cows come home, but why is it important to you? Would someone want to volunteer?
To come together in the morning and talk about stuff that's going on either in the world or like just ourselves, and to like either talk about something that we need to do for our work.
Very good, Jordan. Thank you for weighing in. I appreciate that. You know, sometimes it's almost harder to weigh in when you're in a virtual piece than it is in a classroom setting, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of different. I get that. It's I truly appreciate you weighing in and sharing that, because I mean, I want you to speak from the heart. I want to be honest, because right now, I'm telling you right now, many of you, if not all of you here live, would rather probably be doing what? Sleeping, right? Or, you know, in your day. But one of these things is to get you jump started for your day. You know, I met yesterday with a senior. I'm going to tell you right now, this senior, I won't tell the person's name, they have 7 credits to graduate. 7 credits. Now, 7 credits before May 23rd. That's going to be an uphill battle. But what we did with this individual is I literally got a calendar out for the person, and we really scripted their entire 8 to 10 weeks. I mean, we literally went day to day. Now, this person has made huge gains since Christmas time. They see the light. Now, without them, and in that scripted calendar that we created for each other, or for him, there was a time factor when they have to get up 5 days a week. And so that's not easy. So, well, not easy. It's a change in their habits, and it's a change in what really they want to do. And doing those hard things are the things that are going to be the most rewarding. And right now, you may not see it. Going for a walk, a 4-mile walk, when it's minus 10 below, 3 weeks ago when that blustery storm was coming through, it was not easy. I just did it for a mental challenge. Physically, I was worn out and tired after work, but I did it anyway. I don't know why in the world I was doing it, but at the same time, did I ever feel good when it was done? Just doing crazy stuff like that just challenges you mentally. So I challenge all of you, go forth, have a great day today, and I appreciate all of you showing up today. But hopefully take one of those lessons learned and try one. And try one of those activities and one of the pieces that you put down on Matrix. Thank you all for showing. I want you all to stay online as we wrap up and stay connected. Our webinar, pushing this out to those people who aren't with us live. I want to thank all of you for continuing to stay connected, and we'll see you tomorrow.